My Diet Part 4, Learning to Trust Myself. I'm just back from a nice long jiu-jitsu session where I got smashed and mangled as a elder white belt should. You can kind of see my bloody lips and anyway. Um, so when I do jiu-jitsu, I care about my joints more so than I likely would have if I was doing this in my 20s instead of my 40s. So I pay attention to all the little aches and pains, all the little movements. I'm cautious. I think in the same way, I'm approaching my diet shift, my keto, paleo spectrum, my own personal adaptation with intermittent fasting. I'm doing this. I've done it since over the last year, nice and slow and steady, adjusted, see how I felt, adjusted more, added stuff, taken stuff out, and I think that's why I've been successful. Is I've I've learned to trust and listen to what my body is telling me. Um, I think I had a solid foundation, solid concept of replacing sugar with fat more and more, and condensing my eating time, and working with quality ingredients, and having a relative balanced diet within those confines. And I'm not just restricted. It's not some carnivore diet. I'm not just eating meat. I'm eating plenty of plants and animals. Um, and the probiotics, which I already talked about, which also there is some doubt. There was a comment doubting the what probiotics can offer. But even if probiotics aren't as useful as they're purported to be, the probiotics that I'm consuming, for example, yogurt with no sugar added, there's plenty of fat and other good stuff in there. Um, but I believe it's working for me. So I, it's anecdotal, but the having kimchi is just a great vegetable. It lasts a really long time in the fridge. Doesn't go bad quickly. And I like the spice. Throw that in with a nice fatty meat. It's a wonderful thing. Kimchi and a fatty meat, wonderful thing. Uh, no sugar yogurt with no sugar chocolate, some nuts, and then maybe a few cranberries or something, or a few blueberries, and it's great. It's a wonderful experience. And I doing a 4 hour crunch. It has been the most rewarding uh, intermittent fasting. Like when I can squeeze it down to just a 4 hour period. Through trial and error, I've stretched it out and listening to my body. That's been the best. Maybe it'll be different for you. Um, Logistically, it can be hard. Socially, it can be hard. And if I eat right before bed, I maybe have a little more trouble sleeping. I It's hard to say. A lot of these things, especially the reduction in inflammation, it takes time. It doesn't. The changes don't happen overnight. The the evening out of my mood, my emotions, my reactions to stress, my immune system. It's not a cure all. It just seems over time, over the past year, things have just been easier. Like if I stay up all night and if I don't take care of myself, and I also have this good diet, it's not going to be enough. If I'm exposed to illnesses, if I hurt myself in jujitsu, like all the normal things apply. It's just makes things easier, it makes things cheaper. In my experience, like I talked about with cost, um, I don't I don't desire. I don't have these cravings. I'm satiated. I listen to my body from one bite being hungry to the next being satiated. I'm done. And I have a really good eye now for the portions that will fill me for that day. And it'll change from day to day. that adaptivity is important. Following a plan, that's a guideline. Don't be strict. Don't portion out your calories. You can eat more one day than the next. As I understand it, it's similar to sleep. You don't have to have 7 hours of sleep every night. You could have 6 one night, 8 the next. I think over the course of a week for sleep, they want the average to be in that, 7 to 9, 6 to 8 range. It may be the same for diet. In my experience, it's maybe in a shorter range of like a few days. If I eat more one day, maybe eat less the second day. And maybe if I'm really active, I'll eat more for a few days, even when I'm less active later. It's been remarkable. I mean, it's so obvious. Like as a human being, as a life form, we have so many tools to tell us how we're feeling. So much going on in our brain that's beyond just what's typically associated with intelligence. That I think a sugar-based diet kind of screws with. So being able to trust that when I'm hungry, I need food, and I will know from one bite to the next when I'm full that I do not need any more. With a sugar-based diet, like with a bowl of pasta, for example, forget about the sweets. Sure, that's kind of a given. But just like a bowl of pasta, I could just keep eating that pasta. If it was in front of me, I would eat it. And I have to think, okay, well, how much am I going to portion myself? And then I'll eat it. Like I had to calculate it. Now, maybe I'll eyeball it, and maybe I'll be a little bit off, and I'll put it aside. Maybe I'll finish it later. Maybe I'll even finish it the next day. One bite to the next, I'll know exactly how much I need. And I'll be right because of how I feel afterwards. I won't feel bloated. I won't feel foggy or all these other things with a sugar-based diet. Or I just won't feel good after I've eaten. For a lot of foods, even healthy foods, arguably healthy foods, the breads, the pastas, the grains, I won't feel great afterwards. I'll feel okay, I guess. But I consistently feel good after I eat what I eat now. Quality matters. Beware the nitrates. Uncured is better. In my experience, I love bacon, but you don't want to just get any bacon. You want some uncured bacon. You want all that fat on there. I saw like the Salt Bae meme, so I watched a few of his videos, experienced it. And he's just cutting off the fat and throwing it away, and I'm looking and thinking, I could eat that. It's a whole nother way of looking at the world. When you see somebody walking down the street, waddling, all those fuel tanks hanging from their arms, all that waddling, that's food. They could survive off of that for a long time in some pit somewhere. They could, in another time and place, satiate. Well, let's just not go there. No, let's not go there. See you next time.